Okay, so let's first start off with a stem and leaf plot. We're going to use this data. Well, along with this data, we're going to do other things like max median mode and stuff like that, but let's go with this. First off, let's do a stem and leaf plot. When you make a stem and leaf plot, you want to make sure your highest values that you want to count up are in the front. So that's like the tens place. And then you want the ones place. So you always start with the smallest and go down to your biggest. So you're at 30. I see some 40s. I see some 50s. I see some 60s. And then that seems to be it. Then what we're going to do is that we're going to make some distance away from it. So for example, 43 will go in the 40 slot. 45 goes in the 40 slot. I see another 45 and I see a 49. So I like to underline them as I cross them out just so I can look at the numbers again. Here, 39, I'll put 39 right here. And then let's see, 50s, we got a 51, a 54, a 55, and then a 59. That seems to be it in 50s. And then 60s, we all got 66 to 67. So the first question on your test is going to be something like that, where you have to make a stem and leaf plot based off data. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to now make our three measures. We call these measures of the middle, but they measure different things. The mode, the mean, and the median. And these are all measures of middle or central. We sometimes say like the center of the data. Now, mode is the number that happens most common. This one's very quick. You just literally look at your numbers. Thursday, I believe. No, I'm going to teach something probably tomorrow, and then Wednesday we'll see. Unlikely. I probably want to see if I could put a project or something like that for you. Is the test on that much? What's up? Not really. Not. This is an easy test. Yeah, I was gonna say. Call the stem a leaf plot or stem and leaf plot? I think stem and leaf plot. There you go. So mode, the one that happens most often. Which one happens most often here? 45. No, you got to look at the whole number. So 45 happens, right? So 45 happens the most. If you have multiple things that happen the most, then you put everything that happens the most. And if some reason there was an equal amount of everything, like 1, 1, 1, 1, or 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 of these things, then I wouldn't do that because that makes the other parts uninteresting. But when that happens, you just say there's no mode in that case. The mean, so the average of what occurs, okay? What's up, Sam? Mean, so the average is going to be when you add it all up and divide it by how many numbers you have. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 values. So I got to, this one just have to make sure you bring a calculator or it'll make your life a lot more annoying. So 45 plus 67 plus 55, and you can get your list from the stem and leaf plot too. Plus 55 plus 45 plus 43 plus 39 plus 66 plus 59 plus 51 plus 54 plus 49. I get 573. And then I'm just going to divide that by 11, which turns out to be 52.1. No, calculate.
You're good at like making like, it looks like you're writing.
I know. That's all secret. It's all magic. All right, next one, median. Now, if you get a mean, here's the important part. If you get a mean that's smaller than your smallest number or bigger than your biggest number, you know you made a mistake. Either you're divided by too small. If you get a mean that's outside of your range, aka outside the numbers you have, you know you made a mistake. Your mean should be somewhere in the middle of the data. Now the median. The median, you just have to actually count from the outside in. Again, I underline just so I don't cross anything out if I have to look at it again. So 39 is 67, since that's the smallest and biggest, I do that. Then I do the second smallest and biggest, 66 and 49. Then I do the next smallest and biggest, 45, 59. Did I mess up?
You're supposed to start from the
43. So let's retract. So you do this, then you got to do 43 and 66, 45 to 59, 45 to 55, 49 to 54, and then 51 is my median in this case. So 51 here. When your mean and median is close, when it means in the data, that just means it's kind of close together. All right. So we did a stem and leaf plot. We did a mean median mode. I should also mention I might ask for the range. Let me just type that in. Range, which is, yeah, so that's super easy. It's just the highest minus the lowest. Literally how far your distance is spread out. So 28. Two, and then there, yeah, all right. Okay. Last thing we're gonna do on this with this same data. Just the highest minus the lowest, aka how far your data actually spreads out. And then the last thing we're going to do is a stem and leaf plot, or not stem and leaf plot, a box and whisker. Before we make a box and whisker, we need everything to be listed here. Min, quarter one, quartile one, median, which we already found, so we don't have to look at it again, 51. Quartile 3, and the max. Now the minimum and the max is super easy. The minimum is the smallest number of vols, so 39, and the max is the biggest number, 67. So the quartiles over here, what's that going to tell me is the half of my half. So for example, if I'm looking for the half, I do not include my median. I do not include my median. So I'm going to use green to indicate. So I start at 39 and 49 because this is the top part of my first half. 43, 45. That means 45 is my first quartile. So this is 45.
Are you ever 59? What happens if you get two numbers?
Two numbers in quartiles? You find what's in between those two numbers. Same way if you found two numbers in the median. All right, 67, 54, 66, 55, which must mean it's 59. So with this data, the only thing I'm giving you is a little line to write your axis. Jasmine. Here. So we'll make a number line. It should make sense to your data. You could do it it should make sense, but it has to be consistent. So I'm going to do 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Yes. Now I need to put all 5 points. 39 is my first point. I'll put it here. 45 should be in the middle of 40 and 50. 51, a little bit past 50. 59, a little bit before 60. And 67, a little bit closer to 70 than it is to 60. The pattern it goes is a straight line, then a box, then another box, then a straight line. This is your box and whisker plot. Remember, each piece is 25% of your data. So that means this piece is 25%, this piece is 25%, this piece is 25%, this piece is 25%. Done.
Oh, it has to be like. I thought it was just like you would draw a line in the middle out for the median is, the whisker for the max.
Kind of, yeah. And then the boxes for the quartiles, if you want to go like that. It will always be the quartiles, so yeah.
The box is the average of the.
Not the average. what we call this, which we don't really ask in the test though, is the interquartile range, which is your middle 50%. Sometimes that's more interesting because what if you had something like this on the data and you had a really long whisker? That data, you can see there's an outliner, and that's not very useful sometimes.
You find the quartiles basically just like that average.
No, I found the quartiles here, which is the medians of the medians.
I got, look, how you find, you scroll.
Yeah.
Like, you define the quartile, the average, like 51, so you went from, you started at 59, 49.
49 and 39. Then 45 and 43, and then the middle was
45. But like, can you just do 49 plus 45 plus 45 plus
Divided by-
45 plus 49 divided by?
No, this is not a mean. This is a median, which means it's positional, not based off the average.
Oh,
Those are two different things.
so this-
Yeah. Okay. You're gonna get a question like this. Let's say,
Zoom change your way to choose.
kids, in what sense? Do you have to ask, tell me, do I
In the
change?
sense like, that like you, before COVID, you didn't record video, you used to record separately, like after, now you.
I just used a different program back then, but I used to record before Zoom or before COVID. I used to, for every finals review, I used to just pull up all the tests and I would just do all the tests in a row while recording myself. It'd be like 2 hours, but I would just do that for 2 hours straight. And then I'll post it and be like, that's your midterm review or final review.
That's our final review is, this is me on my final.
This will be on the final and then I'll do a thing.
Final?
Yeah, final.
It's everything from.
What's that on?
It's everything of second semester final.
Second semester only. Let's say this country A, country B. Kids doesn't make sense. I have to change it because you can't have decimal of a kid. Income. What's the income? Thousands.
I was gonna say that.
Wait, did you erase the kids' problem?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense because you can't have decimal kids. So
Wait, what, you got rid of kids?
yes.
Oh, wait.
So I will do income in thousands. Okay.
It's so annoying, you're running around. Okay.
So
The kid grew up. He's like, hey, can you pass me the tissues? You go back to that. He's like, no. No, I don't think it obviously passed through some.
I like this. Is, let's say, let's make some questions up.
Oh. Well, hope we get her.
Slash has.
You know, we both played game on, you game on Wednesday. We both played game on
The country has higher median, larger range.
No, they have a game on Thursday.
Baby girl. We both, I also game on Thursday.
Which
He like sent something in our group chat, right? And then he delivered it to us. Like, we're like,
If you make sure
Oh, our grade.
So Thursday just says.
Little girl.
No, they haven't on Tuesday. Oh,
Maybe.
yeah.
We both have.
There's a way.
I don't think, we're probably gonna get, I don't think.
be the most, I guess you have to say, the most relatively rich.
Seriously, it's more fun when you get it seriously. 'Cause then you're like.
If you make 65K, which country would you be most relatively rich? I guess that's the right way to phrase it.
Last year, we only. We took it seriously. It was more, it could have gone more than that. You guys just weren't, I was watching you. I was
No, at
watching
one point.
you. Yeah.
No, like the record, like, they're like, stop scoring.
Stop scoring. They're gonna find them. Like,
Yeah, but apparently it's not true because Anna went up to it at halftime.
they said if they score too many
She was
goals, they're
like-
gonna find them. to-
Yeah, so that's why like the second
Why would that
quarter,
make
they
sense
stopped
if someone-
scoring. And then he's like, oh, that's not true. Then the third quarter.
But they couldn't have the score too many goals. Yeah.
At least one of our teams.
And the boys. It's-
Okay. So let's talk about this. This is an analyzing section.
Most of that. Oh.
I have to figure out if this is the right way to word it, but hopefully it makes sense. Let's talk about each one though. Higher median. When you look for the median, remember that's going to be the middle line of the two. Country B is a little bit more past, a little country A.
The thing is, like, this one is, it's kind of annoying, like, hard to see this one, like, I would have blamed someone if they did A, because like.
No, yeah, fair, fair.
It's hard to see from, also like these desks are like.
I mean, I just made these like up, so I'll make mine nice and
Yeah,
computer
honestly,
generated.
You know why the desks are like.
I think the dancing competition was there Sunday,
Oh, they-
so
they
this
had-
was a
the
change.
competition was in this room.
No, but from the sign on the front, it seems like this was a changing room for it. So they move all the desks so they could change or something, or practice. Larger range. So this is, which one is the widest of the box and whisker plots? Happens to be country B.
Is it just the bottom part or the lines?
The lines too. Now, part C, this is an important question. If you made $65,000, which country would you be most relatively rich? So in this case, it'll be country A, because if you made 65,000, you're more than above 75% of the people. Good. Well, if you're here at 75,000, wait, was 65,000, my bad. You're still in that 50 to 75%. So in this case, country A. Does anyone have any questions on that? I hope I worded it reasonably.
I got all of them. Did you know any songs? Instrumentals?
What song? Yeah.
If you name one instrumental.
I did like it. Did I do?
Oh, I don't have it on my phone. That's right.
SCR, you said.
Wait, who was second,
All right, I'm going to the next page. Okay.
Yeah.
After he launched it, Twitter.
Yeah.
That's exactly. And they got second place?
It was because they want the story. So I know. The girls
What
like.
was the storyline?
No, the two little kids like sat in their knee and like the weed came to life. They sat there for 2 seconds. Like, just like, the little girl sitting on the knee. It's like not even a thing. I didn't even notice.
Give me a picture.
Mine was. The flowers? Oh, wait.
Mine was a skeleton.
Yeah, mine was a- What was it?
I don't know what kind of anything was.
Yeah. Robots and.
They were mobile.
I don't know what they have to do. I don't know, I like the Monsters theme was cool, but like their dance. Yeah, they did, like, Cat and everything and everything. For their dance was good. If you're,
You know, everyone.
I am really passionate about it.
You know, everyone.
What was
online.
the Cat and everything?
You know, everyone online.
Were you the black one?
Um,
Yeah. I don't like, I don't know, like,
Like, I don't know at all.
No.
Entrees? Entrees?
That was Vermont.
Entrees?
We're going to go with the work day. It was but then I woke up on, and then I knew I was I'm so turning on the alarm. Yeah, right? I thought it was an accident at first.
I know.
But they always work. They were
Everyone-
amazing. I know.
everyone-
They were dancing, was good. I didn't get anything else.
I quit. You know the part where they flipped over themselves on the floor? Yeah. That's why I quit. Couldn't do that.
Wait, why did you quit?
Because there was one part, remember you lay
Oh,
down,
like you lay on the
flip
floor,
over?
yeah, you guys went to
Never
one dance,
ever
right?
do that.
I don't get like why they, I can't put that.
It's the acro.
This experience I've seen, I want to laugh at.
But
I
it's,
want to enjoy it.
yeah. The girls are like wearing like,
I don't even know what they were wearing.
the Marvel girls all had different skirts
Some-
coordinating with
Oh,
their.
yeah,
Yeah.
At least you didn't have to wear.
That.
No, I wore like,
Yeah, no, I know girl she's on and she looks at everyone and she
I
goes,
wore like,
we don't
take
take
skirt
skirt
ones.
ones.
Kusher is always there.
My note also, my note also.
No, because
No, we never
Kusher,
did take-
Kusher probably did that because it's their school. We
No,
are-
my note always, they always have my note.
I don't know, they were wearing like, yeah,
They were like,
No,
like, they were
it's
like,
on.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Why is Google not worried? What is this?
You could, it said like, they wore like.
For a-
They were wearing.
A shirt underneath. Yeah.
Yeah, it had the sparkly words on it. I didn't see that dance, but I
Is this the
thought it was
same?
on pretty good.
No, two different. There's gonna be multiple questions. This is a word problem, so I gotta start typing them faster and faster. Google is looking for three new
Marinella, like walking down everyone.
people.
That's another reason why I'm like, because Kathy was like, she's gonna challenge you guys. I was like, I'm getting after you. She's right.
And
I'm
they
done.
Yeah, she's really good.
Sorry, you're doing it. The little spins, everyone else like falling on the floor, she's just like, really? Yeah. She's gonna be like captain next year.
Coach,
Okay.
that would be
Not
free.
workshops.
P12. It doesn't matter what order it's in, right? Everyone's just-
Because it does-
Yeah, no, for real. Everyone's dressed normally. Except for anyone else. Like they have made like fine outfits. They just chose to have like scary birds.
Give me videos.
No, I'm just doing. That's our girl's video of pictures and like what is it?
Oh,
I took a video, but-
Really?
Let's see.
Like that, bro. Not anymore.
Yeah.
You guys have a video.
I don't know.
I do.
Come here.
I was really on your iPad the whole time. I was watching.
It's like-
Girl, I was gonna probably.
Awkward side thing, and you might hear my commentary, but.
That's fine. I just
How
want
do
to
you-
hear your
I was like,
conversation.
wait, can you like screen share the board?
Coach, is this combinations of combination?
And counting principles and factorials, so they're all in the same section.
Factorials, that's what?
That's the exclamation point.
What does that have to do with it? I think it's like cutting down before. So literally, the dancing. Yeah. We're at work.
Number one, is that?
We're like jungle animals. It's like it's fitting.
Let's talk about each one. Novara, show her later. Rebecca, turn it off for a second. I'm gonna talk about these.
Wait, I'll turn the volume on.
Okay. All right. At the wedding, there's a menu offering 5 appetizers, 7 entrees, and 4 desserts. How many different orders can be made? This one, you would fall in the category of accounting principle because we're talking about different categories using different slots. So there's 5 choices I can make on the first one, times the second choices I can make on the second one, times 4 choices I can make on the third one. So 5 times 7 times 4, 20, 140. All right. Google is looking for 3 new computer people. How many can they choose of out of 12 applicants? 12 C3. The reason is whether you got hired first or you got hired last, the position doesn't matter. You still got hired by Google. So that's going to be 220. by hand, you could do 12 times 11 times 10
Probability.
over 3 times 2 times 1. Either way, or you could do it in the calculator too. I talked about that in the past.
Wait, you do 12 times 3 times 10 times 9 times 8. Go all the way down, no?
No, because it's what happens on the bottom. You're going to get 3 exclamation point and 9 exclamation point. So 9 will cancel out. So you only have to go down to 10.
We're going to the-
So the original formula, N choose R, is N exclamation point over N minus R exclamation point, R exclamation point, which is going to be in this case 12 exclamation point over 12 minus 3 or 12 by 3, which is 9 exclamation point, 3 exclamation point. Now, the reason I don't even write the 9 exclamation point is because I know the 9s are going to cancel out. So I just go 12, 11, 10, 3, 2, 1. You could actually figure it out by counting down how much your smaller number is. I count down 12, 11, 10. I counted 3 numbers, 3, 2, 1. That's I counted 3 numbers. Either way, it should be 220 no matter how you achieve it. Either write just this or show your work, okay? But you need to show me you use C versus P.
Do I have to like write up everything or can I?
As long as you write this part,
Okay.
you'll be fine. Then you can put it in your calculator afterwards.
Yes.
So this one, how many ways can you order the word dance?
Make
So
sure them all out.
no, for this one, since there's 5 different letters and there is no repeats, what occurs is the first letter you could choose could be any of the 5. Then the second letter you could choose could be any of the 4. Then the third letter you could choose out of 3, the 2, then the 1. So this is 5 exclamation point, which is 120. Now letters. How many words can you use from the word letter? So 6 exclamation point because there's 6 letters.
But there's 2 E's and 2 T's.
So we have to account for that. So there's 2 exclamation point of E's. And then I need another 2 exclamation point of T's. No, it's just 2 exclamation point, 2 exclamation point. So 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1
And so it's
over
6 times 5.
2 times 1 times 2 times 1. Again, cancel out when you can. I see 2 2s on the bottom, so I'll cancel out the 2s to cancel out the 4. I don't care how you cancel it out. Either way, 6 times 5 times 3 times 2.
Whoa.
180?
180.
No, wait.
30 times 6 is 180. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Check.
Why didn't you do 6 times 5?
Times 3 times 2. But I'm not going to write them out because there's 180 versions. Because you got to count all the way down to 1 when you start at 6 exclamation point. The exclamation point means 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Yes.
How can you get more like combinations? Oh, the 6 letter word.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
set up.
In terms of combination permutations, if everything's the same, you always get more permutations because you can always do the opposite order, which you can't double count and count combinations. All right. What's up? I have 2 E's, so I have to put 1 for the 2, that one. And I got 2 T's, so I got to put 1 for that one. If I had a triple, I would put 3 exclamation points. If I had a quadruple, I'll put 4 exclamation points. Why? What do you just ask?
I don't have to reveal anything.
So because that's fine. That's true. That's true. The purple, though, you have 2 E's in the word. So look at dance. There's no repeats, so you don't have to worry about it. But here you have 2 E's, so I have to count that for 2 E's. And I had 2 T's. I had to count that for 2 T's. So that's why I had 2 exclamation points.
So that's why you crossed out 4?
Well, I had 2 times 2, which is 4, so I just crossed it out. You could have crossed out this 2 and then reduced this 2. It doesn't matter how you do it. But or you could literally take your calculator.
Cross out 4, I can do it.
Yeah, it's totally fine. For like I'm doing it in my head, so it's easier for me to cross it out. But you would have had, I don't know, 720 over 4, then you would just divide that by 4 afterwards. If you had a triple though, you would put 3 exclamation point. If you had a quadruple, you would put 4 exclamation points, depending how many you repeat. But each letter gets its own exclamation point. You can't just multiply them out. All right.
No, wait, can you go back and just-
Sure, I say fine. Yeah. What?
Is there any more tests questions on the test?
Yeah, probably.
Well, there's not a lot of tests.
It's easy. It's very easy test. This is if you need a grade booster, this is where it's at.
Don't doubt yourself.
Let's do
I made you.
10. Probability of probability of welcome
Oh, I don't like these ones. Thank you.
is less than
From
Yeah.
two dice.
from 2 dice.
Well, because if two dice can equal up to 12, right? Oh, wait, no, that's not how it works. 5 and 5, 6 and 4, and that's it, right?
There's one more thing you gotta think about.
6 and 4. I said 6 and 4.
And 4 and 6.
4 and 6. 6 and 4, 4 and 6, 5 and 5. So
How many?
3 over.
No.
Oh.
No, it was like.
Let's talk about it. So first one, before we even could find the probabilities, we need to find the total amount, or we should at least know what the total amount is. Remember, this is 2 dice. So we're talking about 2 separate entities. So the first thing that can happen, you can have 6 possible numbers that pop up, 1 through 6. Then the other die could be another set of 6 numbers. So you get 6 times 6, just like the dinner one we did earlier. So the total amount of things that could happen is 36. Now the sum of 10, sometimes it helps to write out what could possibly happen. So the sum of 10, that means it adds up to 10, means that it could be 6 and 4. Remember, you could also have it in reverse, 4 and 6, and then 5 and 5. So in this case, you have 3 possibilities out of 36 in total. If you leave it as a fraction, always simplify 1 over 12. If you want it as a decimal, that would be like 8%. Again, just leave it as a fraction. That makes out of good, which reduces to 1 over 6. Around 18%. Now the sum being less than 3. 1 and 2. 2 and 1. 1 and 1. Anything else? No. Again, 3 out of 36. 1 out of 12. Let's add one more. I gotta go to you. One, 1. 2, 2. 3, 3. 4, 4. 5, 5, and 6, 6. So there's only 6 ways you can get a double. Just to make sure we cover this. The product, Jasmine. Shh. Deborah, shh. So the product being 12, what does product mean again? Multiplication, so numbers that multiply to 12. On a die, more importantly.
3, 4, 4, 3, 6, 2, and 6.
Good. So you have 3 times 4, 4 times 3, 6 times 2, 2 times 6. So 4 out of 36, which is 1 out of 9. Okay. I could also ask this question. Oh, actually, I guess since we're almost out of time. But either way, one more thing I could tell you is the marbles ones, or like I give you one die, maybe I'll give you 2 coins. I can mix them up. This doesn't cover all probability, but it covers basically the concept.